and it's a song written by a female MC, Mahia MC, a Cuban MC, who's talking about questions of prostitution in Cuba. And Mahia comes from a barrio called Central Havana, which is one where this issue of prostitution has risen dramatically with greater influx of tourists into Cuba, and yet it's one that cannot be talked about in Cuba because technically prostitution doesn't exist. And so it's been impossible to talk about the real issues facing the women who enter into this trade as a means of survival. And what Mahia does with the song is really interesting because, she actually performed it when I was in Havana. She performed it at one of the top theaters in Havana, and when justifying it to the theater managers and to other people, she said, well, it's not a song about women in Cuba, it's a song about women in capitalist countries like the United States. And yet Mahia had never left Cuba in her life, so how would she know about any country outside of Cuba? But yet that was how she got the song played, and sang it at one of the top theaters in Cuba, was because she justified it by saying, I'm not talking about Cuba. But any person listening to that song and in that theater knew that the song was about Cuba, knew it was about barrios like Central Havana, because the stories that were being told were very familiar to many people.